All right, we have two videos that we're watching today. Number one, a sparring session between what I'm going to assume is a pretty darn big coach and a female student. And I had somebody message me and say, Gabriel, what do you think about this video? So we're going to look at that. We're going to touch on a bit of a beating that she takes and if and when this is ever warranted. Then we're going to talk about another video that somebody sent me and they said, how do I defend against this kick? And it's a front kick, no drop into a round kick, and then following up with a jab, all off the lead. Oh, it's a nice move. And it's one that will get thrown at you almost never, but it's important to understand, yes, how would I defend this? So let's have some fun. Let's go through these reaction videos here and see what we have. Number one, here we go. So, sparring begins. And the first thing I was looking at, I'm like, oh, she's got some good skills. And he's got some nice skills in the sense his punches are passing and not smashing. But right here, I'm like, man, that was not a controlled high kick whatsoever. His whole body went into it and he rocked her right through her glove up. That's a hard low kick. Maybe once you could get away with that, but not multiple times. Look at, even when he goes to block the round kick, he's so much bigger. He doesn't even have to block correctly, but continues to smash those legs. When you've got knocked down 3 times, probably need to lighten up. Probably need to. It's no good. Moving on here. She's struggling to stand, even a touch there. Oh, that was a hard kick though. And that back leg is just gonna be hurting so much. And I think there's, yeah, look at this leg. It is brutalized. So not only do you have a leg which is very, very damaged, but you also got knocked down through your glove. And that is not what we want. If somebody's hitting hard enough that through a hand being up and getting hit with a high kick, you're getting knocked down, it's too much power, too much of a size difference. So the question there would be, is that sparring warranted? Or you just ask me, what did you reply to the person who said, is this sparring warranted? And I just wrote back and said that was stupid. Didn't need to say any more than that. Essentially, there's no need for it. Now, yes, I will spar with females who are much smaller than me, and I will push them, push the pace, you know, touch them with some body shots, but I am not going to hit them to the head where through the glove, they're going to get rocked and knocked down. And if I'm going to condition their legs, it's going to be by touching and touching and touching, not blasting in. And if eventually those light touches start to crumble the person, then I ease back so much. But I'm not going to knock them down. I'm not going to throw big power in. Now, obviously that guy, whether he's coach or just a sparring partner, obviously he could go a lot harder, right? He could. With his size and everything there, I don't see him on any of those shots going 100%. I would say those are probably more like 50 or 60. But he should have been going more like 20 or 30. Now the argument there would be, well, she's probably preparing for a fight, and is that something that is needed? And yes, hard sparring is needed, but walking out and being damaged, having minor concussion, might not be mild, could be more than that, but getting knocked down means you got something. So having that plus hobbling out, I don't know how that helps your fight prep. You can condition your legs after, you can put somebody through hard rounds, but it should be done, in my mind, by really touching, maybe trying to overwhelm them with speed and then getting in tight and then making them grind and really work and fatiguing them, but not through damage. That's just my opinion. Before we get to the next clip, guys, remember, right now, the Vault. That is my 5 online strike ready courses. We're having a massive sale, best sale ever. There's a link in the bio for all of November. You can save over $550 on my offense course, my defense course, my movement course, my takedown course, and my newest, which is called Edge, which is 36 1-hour follow-along training sessions, which you can do on the bag if you have access to one, or if not, you can go about shadow boxing style. So let's move into this last one here. Now I'm going to show you the clip, and then I'm going to change the camera angle, and I'm going to talk about how we defend this, because there's really no fantastic way. So here we go. He snaps the high kick, and then he comes right to a round kick. It happens so fast. I was like, whoa. Front kick. His foot does not drop, and that is crazy. One, almost down, snaps in the other. Let's watch that one more time. Here we go. So his back foot, if you watch that in particular, it's in a massive pivot position off the front kick, which allows him to get up to the round kick. If he did not have a pivot, his hip would not be turned over enough to accomplish that. So let's change the camera angle and let's talk about how in the world you defend this essentially karate kick. All right, we're just going to do this down here today because I'm busy, don't have time to be running up and down and all around, changing my lights. So what we see there is a 1 to a 2. Now, normally this does not work for most people because number one, the power from here to here without dropping is minimal. If we went from this to that, then I can spring off the ground. But this person manages to get enough power anyway, and it's because this foot is in that pivot position. It's the 1 to the 2, and he comes quite low with this leg. 1, boom. How do we block that? And should you be training that? No, don't bother training that. Right, that's that karate style thing where maybe you're here, you go side kick to round kick, and yes, well, it could work. In my mind, you're always better off doing things, boom, and then coming to there. And this is coming from a guy, I used to do all this stuff, right? Where you flick, but I'm not gonna train it. So when somebody comes 1 to 2, the only thing that you should be thinking about is what are the blocks that have already been taught. If you've done my defense course, you know the options for defense when it comes to a front kick. If somebody throws a left front kick at you, or somebody throws it at me, I use my left hand to scoop down low. What does this do if I see that transition come? You use the correct arm, and now this hand is still up here defending my head. I don't have to worry about the fact that, okay, the kick got pulled back and then came up here, because that hand is there anyway. If I go to reach for it, okay, now your head's a little bit more open, but we know every time we reach for a kick, we expose our head a little bit. And there are these little sort of funky things that people can do. But this is how you're gonna go about dealing with the front kick if you're trying to stay very safe, because the person is not going to come to the opposite side. They're not going to come from here to here. That's not going to be realistic. But they might come from here to here. Or if they're doing a question mark kick, wham-bam. And that's essentially what this guy did, except he did not do the fast transition. He just went from here and then all the way back. But you're going to scoop like this. You're going to keep this other hand up, boom, and then if it did come up to this level and you are smart enough about it, or you have that foresight, you go, okay, I missed that, and then catch here. That's how I would go about dealing with it. In addition, if you're somebody who likes going, okay, I want to be very safe, somebody throws a front kick, just elbow block sometimes. Or my hands are up, I see the front kick, now my hands are still up here. And if I see that transition over to this side, I could very quickly go like so. But doing anything else, reaching or coming down with the wrong arm, is going to expose you to that. So sticking to the fundamentals of scooping your front kicks like this, that's a great way to start off, and then you can add in the fancier things after. So we have everything there we had to talk about. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'll see you back on the channel very soon.